Yer, what's goody, y'all? It's your boy Cameron. I'm back with another reaction video. How you guys feeling? How you guys doing? How you guys day going? Comment down below. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Today we're gonna react to She Married the Man Who Got Her Boyfriend Killed. Then he finished the job 10 years later. That title alone is insane. You know what I'm saying? To want to marry somebody that got your loved one killed, it's pretty crazy. Not gonna lie to you. I don't know what the plan behind it was. It don't give too much detail on who kills who. It says he finished the job later, so I'm assuming he killed her. But if that's the case, bro, like, that was the most utmost disrespectful thing you could possibly do. To marry the nigga that got your boyfriend killed, in my honest opinion. Before we get into this video, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with the like button and post notifications so you're notified every time I post a video. Also, if you guys have any videos like from react to social media sites in the description below for fits in a minute, and I react to them. With that being said, let's get right into this video.
On the evening of March 27, a 36-year-old woman was brutally gunned down inside her own home by none other than her own husband. But what made this story even more shocking was something that happened over 10 years earlier. That same man had planned a deadly ambush to kill her and her boyfriend. She survived the attack, but her boyfriend didn't. Shockingly, just 2 weeks later, she married the man who had taken her boyfriend's life. Now the same man ended her life too, for one of the most senseless reasons.
See, I was gonna say maybe it's possible that, you know, she ain't know that that's who did it, but 2 weeks later, ain't no way in hell you ain't know. You knew.
This is the heartbreaking case of Edwina Brown.
This is your man.
Yes.
Look at the screen.
That's mine.
And that's what you're gonna settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
Edwina's tragic story unfolds in the community at Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, Arkansas is a place with a soaring crime rate that is 200% higher than that of the national average.
Sheesh.
And the most notable crimes that occur are burglary, aggravated assault, and homicide, which highlights the horrifying picture of this city, one that ultimately became the setting for Edwina's own tragic and violent end. Edwina Brown was born on May 16, 1986, in Little Rock, Arkansas, to Edwin Eugene Moore Sr. and the late Betty Jean Martin. She was the youngest of 4 children on her maternal side and the third of 9 children on her paternal side. Raised in a close-knit family, Edwina grew up in a city where the environment was nothing but challenging. Despite this, she was known to be resilient, warm, and determined. Edwina attended John Mlin High School, where she built strong friendships and maintained a lively social life. And right after high school, Edwina pursued her higher education at the University of Arkansas at Pulaski Tech, where she earned her associate's degree, a testament to her drive and ambition. As she stepped into adulthood, Edwina worked for several years as a phlebotomy technician, mastering her craft in the medical field before shifting her focus to entrepreneurship. She eventually launched her own clothing line called Bodacious Beauty Boutique, where she developed a loyal customer base and found meaningful ways to give back to her community.
She had a good head on.
It's gonna be in a medium and a small. And it's $5. Sharika, I'm watching Shameless, girl, and I can't stop watching. It's $5. I have a couple more of these. Tie up in the back. Kind of like a night dress. These are $5. And it's in a small and a large. I just started, Sharika.
But her creative energy didn't stop there. Edwina also had a deep love for dance, dedicating herself to mentoring young dancers. She spent 4 years as a dance coach for the Bejeweled dance team, where she coached aspiring performers, volunteered in organizing competitions, and even competed herself.
Kicking big shit with my feet on. I ain't even gotta touch the bitch cause her baby daddy beat on. For real, beat her ass, then he skip.
Dance wasn't just an interest for her, it was a form of expression, a passion that brought her immense joy. At the same time, Edwina remained committed to her professional growth. In recent years, Edwina dedicated herself to her career as a customer service advocate at Blue Cross Blue Shield, where she worked tirelessly to support her family while continuing to chase her dreams. As the lively and social person that she was, Edwina shared all of this on social media, where she regularly posted funny videos and skits, bringing smiles to those who followed her.
I hate those mamas who be like, I didn't raise him like that. Well, bitch, who did? Huh? Who taught him that, Patricia?
Do women still like flowers? Or do I gotta get a...
Give me an A, babe. Give me an A. Flowers gonna die. I'm gonna get high.
What's the face you make when someone you don't like walks in the room?
And her outgoing and social personality made her well loved online. Through all this, she raised her daughter, Danielle Michelle, whom she had from a previous relationship. Edwina was not just living, she was building a future, working hard to make a difference in her life and the lives of others. But everything changed when she met one man. At some point in 2012, Edwina met 27-year-old Danny Maurice Brown, a man who would ultimately bring darkness into her life. Their relationship started like any ordinary romance, with Edwina perhaps seeing potential in him. But beneath the surface, Danny harbored a dangerous possessiveness that he kept hidden.
I got you. Mr. All Hundreds, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Make It Rain, Mr. Too Much Money.
Before we even get into too far into this, I just want to say, ladies, any females out there, if you have a good head on your shoulders, and you out making shit happen for yourself, going to school, starting a business, protecting and providing for your kids, do not let no man and what he got going on interfere with that. Especially if he's not bringing the right influence around you and your family. You understand what I'm saying? Because from what it seems it looks like already over it, she was an individual that, took care of business, created a life for herself, tried to change her environment, tried to become a better person. She met this dude, and off rip, when you see dudes walking around with water cash like that, it's some illegal shit going on. You understand? So for you to be on the right track and bringing someone in your life that's on the wrong track, disasters aren't expected to happen.
Doing this shit too long.
Ronell, don't come on here with no jokes.
Who is that?
Ronell, he working at Verizon, but he a comedy.
In time, his nature surfaced and Edwina would finally see the true colors of Danny. Edwina soon came to realize the danger of Danny's control and obsession, but it wasn't long until his dark nature would reach a devastating climax. Edwina eventually recognized the warning signs and made the difficult decision to leave him. She found love again with 22-year-old Daniel Hill, a man who treated her with kindness and respect, but Danny refused to let her go. Consumed by jealousy and rage, Danny believed that Edwina belonged only to him. If he couldn't have her, no one could. This twisted obsession led him to orchestrate a brutal attack that would change everything. On January 3rd, 2012, Danny hired 2 men to ambush and kill both Edwina and Daniel. He told the gunmen that he did not care how they killed them, but asked them not to hurt the kids. Edwina and Daniel weren't together for very long when the tragic incident would fall on them. They were coming home to their apartment on Green Mountain Drive on that fateful day when the series of violent events happened. Just in front of their apartment, they were cornered by the gunmen Danny hired. In just moments, the couple was shot. Edwina on the shoulders, while Daniel was shot multiple times, with the location of his injuries unknown to the public.
Hey, may he rest in peace, man. You understand? This Danny nigga's a sucker. You understand? Bottom line, he's a sucker. If you can't seem to treat your joint right, and somebody come in the picture and treat your joint better than what you treated her, and she fall for it, that's not the dude's fault. That's your fault. So for you to go and try to ambush both of them, shoot at both of them, and only kill him, and only not you didn't do it, you hired somebody to do it, and he got killed, and not her. It's sad, bro. It's sad. If you was gonna hire somebody to do a job, you should have made sure they did the job right. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting there promoting to, go kill people, go do that. No, I don't recommend that. I don't condone that, and I don't think that's a good thing to do, regardless of what the situation is. You understand what I'm saying? But in this situation, for especially, for you to want to go have somebody killed because they treat your girl better than you is absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. And the one that you went to go target mainly wasn't even dead. That's niggas be corny, bro.
Right now for a report of a shooting victim. 2 gunshot victims. One's a CPR, and the other one shot in back, and she's alert. But this one, this is a CPR right now. Okay. And then you got this one with a gunshot wound to the back that's being addressed already. All right, we're on a scene of a multiple shooting. We have 2 gunshot victims. One's in the ambulance being treated by the EMTs and the paramedics, and the second victim's being treated by the fire department, and we're waiting. The second ambulance is on the way here now. Paramedics on the scene, they're assessing it, and they're treating both victims at this time. Is he stable? Yeah. Okay.
He looks alive.
Right here, just in front of him. All right.
Man,
they were then both brought to the hospital. Edwina recovered from her injuries. However, Daniel unfortunately did not make it. But this is only the beginning of the violence Danny would unleash. As the authorities investigated the brutal attack of Edwina and Daniel, the 2 gunmen were eventually found and held accountable. One of the gunmen was identified as Quentin Bernard Jones, who was charged with first-degree murder and criminal attempt to commit murder. This arrest, however, still does not give justice to the death of Daniel. And so, Quentin did not hesitate to point at Danny as the mastermind of the entire attack. He confessed the involvement in orders made by Danny to end the lives of the couple. But just when it seemed like Danny would finally pay for his crime, an unexpected turn changed everything. A key witness refused to cooperate, which caused the prosecutors to drop the charge of capital murder against him. And so, he got away with the murder and walked free. Meanwhile, the 2 gunmen faced the full force of the law, with one receiving 55 years in prison, while the other was sentenced to life behind bars. But while the world was reeling for the failure of serving justice, what happened next was even more shocking. Just 2 weeks after the brutal attack that ended her boyfriend's life and put her in danger, Edwina married the very man who was responsible for the tragedy she faced. This decision defied logic, leaving the people around her asking, why? Whether out of manipulation or the thought that she could change him, it wasn't clear.
This is your man.
Yes.
Look at the screen.
Like some women don't deserve, a lot of women don't deserve the treatment of their ex-boyfriends or people harming them or putting them in danger. Like some women don't, a lot of women don't deserve that. You understand? This situation, she deserves it. I'm sorry. I hate to be the one that's so cruel and cold-hearted, but she deserves it. You with a dude and you leave him for another dude because the other dude's treating you better. Now, y'all go and you live your life. Y'all go do what y'all got to do. And now the ex-dude come and try to kill you in the new dude. You survive. And then 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, you go marry the old dude that tried to get you killed. You asked to be violated. You asked to be violated. You got your new man killed for some bullshit that had nothing to do with him, but to do with you. And then you going to go marry the same nigga that got him killed? Yo, this woman is crazy, man. She asked for that. She asked for that.
And that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
Unbeknownst to Edwina, this action would ultimately be the cause of another tragedy a decade later. For almost 11 years, Edwina and Danny lived together and got married. Throughout the years of being together, everything continued as if the tragedy that cost one man his life did not happen. They even had a child together, who they named Danny Maurice Brown III. They would constantly be seen in social media sharing skits of their seemingly happy family. To outsiders, it seemed as though their marriage was an attempt to move on, and a chance to rebuild after the chaos of their past. All this time, she continued with her work, cared for her children, and continued to do her passions in life. But behind the cameras and inside their home, their relationship was far from stable, and it wasn't long until the same violent nature of Danny would surface. And on March 27, 2024, the peace that Edwina had tried to build came crumbling down. That day started like any other, but as the hours passed, tensions began to rise. Around 4 p.m., Danny Brown arrived at Edwina's home at 4704 Fairley Drive in Little Rock, Arkansas. where she had been living apart from him. At first, it was just one of those arguments that couples would have, but soon, the tension between them grew to something even more dangerous. It was at this point when Danny finally snapped. As the confrontation grew more intense, Danny's temper flared beyond control. Words turned into threats, and soon, threats turned into violence. Danny pulled out a gun and shot Edwina. In a matter of seconds, she was betrayed yet again by the man she gave another chance to. The same man who had once tried to kill her, and now had finished what he started 10 years ago.
Like, what made you think he wasn't gonna kill you? You feel what I'm saying? The nigga tried to kill you before. Like, a certain thing is like, all right, you want to give somebody a second chance or something? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Some people change, you know what I'm saying? I get it. But the nigga tried to get you killed. That's like the furthest extent you could go past anything. Like, he tried to have you wipe off the face of the earth. Take you away from your kids, take you away from your family, and you thought that you was going to go back with him and shit was going to be all so smooth and perfect? Delusional at its finest.
Edwina, Danny took off, trying to run from what he had done. When officers got to the scene, they found Edwina fighting for her life.
On March 27th, around 4 in the afternoon, police say Danny Brown went to his estranged wife's house on Fairley Drive in Little Rock.
The information we have is that Danny Brown entered the house. I guess maybe an argument ensued. He allegedly shot his wife.
It's been over a week since that happened, and police are looking to get Brown behind bars, including the U.S. Marshal's Office, who has been asked to help.
Well, of course, we want to do this as safely as possible. We don't want anyone to get hurt, including Danny Brown. Preferably, we'd rather Danny Brown just turn himself in, do the right thing.
Police have gotten close to arresting him, but they say he's made it clear he will not be taken in quietly.
One of our biggest tips, I guess, came from Danny Brown himself. He actually called the Little Rock Police Department, gave a statement to them, and then made the statement that he would basically either harm himself or harm others if he was ever cornered by, anyone, especially law enforcement.
Coward.
If you see Danny Brown or know where he is, police ask that you not approach him because he is considered armed and dangerous. You should call the U.S. Marshal's Office instead.
Edwina was rushed to the hospital to try to save her, but despite emergency efforts, she succumbed to her injuries at a nearby hospital. The same man she had once trusted, the man she had chosen to forgive, had now become her executioner. News of Edwina's death spread quickly, and the police investigation immediately identified Danny Brown as the murderer of his wife, and the search for him immediately started.
And Ashley's with us now on set. Ashley, I know you've done a lot of research on this case today. How far are we getting? Do we know anything about the suspect?
Karen, it's still a process. We're still working to confirm a lot, but what we do know is there are possible cases against Mr. Brown right now, possibly out of state, so we're still working to confirm that and make sure that we know everything we can before we report it.
Absolutely. We must confirm. Well, we know you'll do that, Ashley. You do a fabulous job at stories like this. It's very delicate. Let us know what you find out in the meantime.
He was labeled armed and dangerous, and the public was warned not to approach him. For over a week, Danny stayed on the run, trying his best to evade the authorities. It wasn't long until the U.S. Marshals got involved in the pursuit of arresting Danny. But as law enforcement closed in, weeks went by, and Danny successfully evaded the grasp of police. But the hunt would soon come to a conclusion. On April 5, 2024, the U.S. Marshals tracked Danny down to an apartment in Dallas, Texas. As the officers cornered him, Danny made an attempt to do one last escape. He ran towards it to try and jump to once again evade the police, but it was not to be. As soon as he looked down the balcony, he found the police waiting for him. Trapped with no way out and realizing that running was no longer an option, Danny had no choice but to surrender. And with that, he finally raised his hands to surrender without a fight. Once in custody, Danny was extradited back to Arkansas. He now faces capital murder charges for the killing of his wife, Edwina Brown. The man who had once escaped justice after orchestrating a deadly attack was finally behind bars. But the battle for justice is still far from over. As of now, Danny awaits trial, finally facing the consequences of the violence that he inflicted on two innocent people. His arrest brought a sense of relief to the people that were left by the tragedy of Edwina's death, but it did not erase the pain of losing a mother, a friend, and a beloved member of the community.
They both
The road
dumb.
to justice is still long, and the trial will determine whether Danny will finally be held accountable for his actions or if another loophole will allow him to escape punishment once again. On April 15, 2023, Edwina's friends and family gathered at the Williams Temple in Little Rock, Arkansas, to celebrate her life and the memories that she left with them, filled with an overwhelming sense of grief, disbelief, and love. Her loved ones gathered to celebrate the life she lived, even as they mourned the one that was stolen too soon. Edwina's story left the community reminded of the devastating consequences of unchecked violence and the painful cycle of abuse. It highlights how jealousy, control, and manipulation can escalate into something fatal, and how even those who survive the worst may still find themselves trapped in danger. Justice for Edwina is long overdue, but perhaps her story can prevent another woman from suffering the same fate. Let us know what you think about this story in the comments below.
I'm even gonna sit up here and lie to y'all. First and foremost, let me start off by saying, may she rest in peace. My condolences go out to her and her family, and also maybe I would say, may the boyfriend of hers that got killed as well, may he rest in peace as well. And my condolences go out to him and his family and anyone affected by the situation. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. She got herself killed. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people may say, oh, you know, she was grieving and she was going through this, so she went back to who comforted her. But you don't go back to somebody that attempted to get you killed. You understand what I'm saying? And I may be easy to speak of because I haven't gone through it, but just me, like I'm gonna speak on them anyways. You don't go back to somebody that tried to get you killed. That's the last person you want to go, that you were supposed to go back to. You understand? You're supposed to move away from him and go far away from him, start your new life, and whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, you now see from your own two eyes that this person is willing to harm you and do anything to you to keep you to themselves for their selfish and controlling ways. You wasn't supposed to go back. So unfortunately, your choice as an adult got you killed by the same person that attempted to get you killed the first time. That, honestly, is completely your fault. Now, the boyfriend, the husband, the one that killed her, he's also a dumbass, because you committed a crime, one of the worst crimes you could commit, and it's charged with one of the worst charges you could be charged for, and you find a way to beat it. And not only did you find a way to beat it, you found a way to get back with the girl that you tried to kill, and y'all moved on with your life. So now you're gonna go do it again? My brother, you deserve to sit in jail, bro. You deserve to sit in jail. And I don't recommend or condone your actions at the end of the day, because, bro, love is hard. Being in a relationship is hard. Loving somebody is hard. Letting go of somebody is hard. You understand what I'm saying? But never in my life will I will condone or respect someone for trying to kill someone for doing what's best for them. You understand? Whether you agree with it or not, whether you like it or not, people got to do what's best for them. You try to go and hinder her or prevent her from moving on with her life, and also stopping her from raising her kids for your own selfish ways. Absolutely disgusting. So whatever happened to you, my brother, you deserve, because at the end of the day, your actions was not justifiable or called for. You don't like what she was doing, you move away from her. You get far away from her. Time heals. Get away, move around. But to kill her and remove her from her kids while you go sit in jail, I don't condone or recommend at all. Not only that, I also want to say, like, if you feel like you moved on from someone and you're ready to move on, and they're not letting you be, and they keep harassing you, keep attacking you, keep doing shit to you, don't go jump into another relationship bringing your past problems into it, because that's what ultimately got that boy killed. Because you chose not to want to fully understand that you're dealing with a situation that's not going to just go away. It takes time. So anyone out there choosing to want to move on from somebody or let them go, be sure that your past problems are over with and done with and dealt with before you move on to something else, because they can eventually come back and haunt you. And ultimately, that's what ultimately got him killed and also got her killed. Make sure that your past problems are dealt with before you try to move on. The only people I feel bad for in this situation, really, because of Yatu's lack of being adults, is the boyfriend and the kids, and also the friends, anyone affected by the situation. Because at the end of the day, they all lose at the end of the day. Especially the kids. They all lose. Why? Because of two people who failed to just understand that y'all are not made for each other, and it was time to walk away. And not only did y'all get affected by it, but everyone around y'all got affected by it as well. So may she rest in peace, but her actions caused her death, and whatever happens to him, he deserves, because at the end of the day, killing somebody because they choose to move on and leave you alone because how you treat them is uncalled for. Anybody out there watching this, move on. You understand? It's not easy to move on. Easier said than done. I definitely understand it completely. But moving on is the best thing to do than to lose your freedom or take somebody's life because you can't control yourself, or you rather not see them happy with somebody else. Move on. Find a way to move on. Find a way to let them go. Find a way to do it. But killing someone, to my opinion, is never the answer. And that's that. That's the end of the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys watch the video, and until next time, I'll see y'all.